This is your no bullshit guide to a happier life. Quick, but not necessarily easy tips to help you to squeeze every last drop of enjoyment out of your business and your life. My name is Helen Calvert. I'm a coach, a business owner and a parent, and I'm so happy to be here with you. I do swear occasionally, as the title suggests, so pop in your headphones if I'm not safe for little ears. Ready to go? Let's do this. This episode is sponsored by Claire Ferguson of With Agency. Claire works with brands and entrepreneurs looking to take their business to the next level, working as an extension of their team to amplify their business message and ensure that they are connecting with their ideal audience to drive success and business growth. With Agency uses social media ads to help brands access their ideal audience. Through training, support sessions, audits and fully managed ad campaigns, Claire makes sure businesses are making the most of the opportunities available to them through paid social. This is just the doing. What Claire helps people to achieve is confidence that their marketing strategy will deliver, peace of mind that their budget is being spent wisely, and crucially, she takes away the responsibility for advertising, which gives them time back to focus on what matters to them. One of Claire's major objectives is to demystify digital ads. Ads don't need to be complicated, and for the few bits that are, Claire is there to help. To find out more, head to with.agency on Instagram or follow Claire's links in the show notes for this episode. Hello and welcome to this episode where we are going to be talking about promoting ourselves. Now, I'm very aware that I haven't done too many mindset block alerts recently, mainly because I think a lot of the episodes I've done are kind of all mindset block, like the previous one on spending money on ourselves. And this is another one that's very much like that. So I'm going to ask my lovely producer, Lisa, to pop in the little ding that I know you all love so much. So mindset block alert, promoting ourselves. The whole thing is a mindset block, isn't it? Most of my audience are business owners. If you go back to the beginning of this podcast, you'll see there's lots of business stuff in there. And if that's you, if like me, you are a business owner, this one is for you. We've got a good relationship with ourselves at this point in the series. You know, we've been talking about our relationship with ourselves since the beginning of series 3, which started in January 2023. And hopefully, through everything we've talked about, our relationship with ourselves is looking pretty good. We know how we're going to be spending our money after last episode. So now, what do we need to do? We need to make some. You know, we've got a great relationship with ourselves. We know how we're going to spend our money. Everything's rosy. We've got to make some money. As business owners, that means promoting ourselves. Ick, ew, yuck, no, please make it stop. And straight away, the mindset goes to, doesn't that mean fooling and tricking people, taking advantage of people? Doesn't that mean being bad? No. The stereotypes you are launching yourself into there are of the car salesman type in Roald Dahl's Matilda. The door-to-door salesman, all the pushy sales techniques, which you may have been on the receiving end of, or you may have practiced yourself. But all that pushy stuff where people are made to feel like they can't really say no, and you have to have really strong boundaries and be quite a strong character in order to say no. And that feels horrible because you know you're taking advantage of people. No, we're not talking about any of that. None of that at all. Promoting yourself does not have to be like that. So let's reverse away from all of those stereotypes. Take that out of your mind. Here you are in the world with skills, talents and abilities. Those things are worth somebody paying you for. Everyone deserves to earn money from their skills and talents and abilities. That's how the world works. That's how we as a society are set up. And there they are, your customers, you know, over the other side of this imaginary mental room, and they have money. And as we discussed last episode, they need the necessities. So if you are, selling food, well, everyone needs that. They have necessities, they have needs they would like to meet, and they have things that they want, just like we discussed last episode. So they have necessities, needs and wants. So do you provide some kind of necessity? Do you fulfill a need? Well, I bet you do, because everyone's needs are different. So if you sell coffee, if you provide massage, if you make music, if you provide an opportunity to dance around like a lunatic to cheesy pop, you definitely fulfill my needs. So I'd like to hear from you. And do you provide something that people want? Well, yeah, of course, because even if what you provide isn't something that anybody needs, I bet it's something that, a fair few people want. If it wasn't, you wouldn't have a business at all. So that's it. You're providing either necessities, meeting needs, or providing wants. And there's just one thing left. There you are, there they are. What's left? You just got to tell them. That's it. You just got to tell them. They don't know unless you tell them. And that's what promoting ourselves is. Let's go back. Let's go back in time, people. Imagine ye olden days when we're in a little village, living in a little village. Everyone grows food, makes stuff and works together. You buy apples from the person who has an orchard, you buy beer from the brewer, you buy clothes from the weaver. They buy, let's say flowers from you. Really simple, yeah? Simple. No need for any marketing because everyone knows each other. Everyone knows you sell flowers and you know where the brewery is. So it's just sales. There's no marketing required. Nice and simple. But then you move to a town. You don't know anyone in this town and it's bigger. So you need people to market to you because at the moment you don't know where the brewery is. Someone needs to tell you. You don't know who sells apples. Someone needs to tell you. Is there more than one weaver? Well, you need some information then about both weavers or all three weavers so that you can choose which is the best one for you. And you need to tell everyone that you sell flowers because they might want or even need some. So there we go. Marketing is born. That's what marketing is. It's providing all that information backwards and forwards so people can make the choice to buy from you and you can make the choice to buy from them. If you go right back to the beginning of this podcast, one of my very first episodes was on marketing. And if you have a listen to that, it goes into this a bit more about how it doesn't have to be complicated, but how it's actually quite simple. It's not necessarily simple to get the results you want, but it's a simple concept. It doesn't have to be complex. Promoting ourselves is just making sure that people who might want or need us know where to find us and know what we do and know how to buy from us. That's what promoting ourselves is. So it's not necessarily standing on the street corner and going, I'm the best at whatever, although it could be. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. It could be just saying to an individual, oh, you need that. Oh, yeah, I do that. That's the difference between kind of going, oh, I do that, but I don't really feel comfortable telling them. And just saying, I do that, just so you know. Like, it's up to you. I'm not going to pin you in a corner and make you buy it. But yeah, I do that. You're interested? Okay, well, here's how I do it. Still interested? Right, well, here's how you buy it. That's promoting ourselves. So where does this ick come from? This icky feeling? Because we're no longer in those ye olden times. It's not that straightforward anymore. We're not just in a little town going, well, I sell flowers, who wants some? So where does all this ick come from? Well, it comes from the fact that these days there is so much noise and competition, no matter what you do. Sure, Tesco's are in competition with Sainsbury's, are in competition with Asda, are in competition with Morrison's. But every business has this now, I'm a life coach. There are numerous coaches. I run a team of virtual assistants and social media managers. There are loads of them. Whatever it is you do, there will be loads of you. We live in a big world. There are loads of people out there doing either what you do or something similar to what you do or something different from what you do, but marketing to the same people. And those people only have so much money. So if they choose them, they might not choose you. And it becomes about competition. So self-doubt starts to creep in then, right? Because it's not just about, well, I sell flowers, who wants some? Oh, and 3 other people sell flowers. Well, I know I've got the best roses, but their peonies are a bit better. It's still quite simple, isn't it? Not anymore. Not anymore. The self-doubt starts to creep in. And there's so many avenues. Like, well, I know I'm good at what I do, but am I good at making reels on Instagram? Am I good at, creating flyers? Am I doing the right thing on my radio adverts, if that's what you're doing? There's so much to think about, and the amount of self-doubt. Are we doing it wrong? Oh my goodness. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, we pluck up the courage to promote ourselves and somebody says, no thanks. Oh my God, that's it. Well, we must be terrible. It must all be over. Give it up. Close the shop. Because it's just so heavy, isn't it? Oh, okay. Deep breath, everybody. Deep breath. There are so many customers. Just as much as there is so much competition and noise in lots of businesses, there are so many customers. Yep, everyone else making noise in your space is going to be getting some of those customers, and you'll get some too. There are enough customers to go around. Take a breath. Think about one of our recent episodes focusing on what we can control. So people can choose how they respond to our marketing. We cannot control that. If someone says that they hated something we produced, well, for a start, very few people actually say that. They might think it, but actually expressing it to you, that's rare. But let's say somebody does. There is nothing to say that everyone else feels the same way, that you could have done it differently and they would have preferred it. You cannot control how people respond to your marketing. You cannot. You can, follow some advice, think about your audience, do your very best, but you cannot control it. And if somebody doesn't like something or says no or complains or objects, there's most likely precious little you could have done differently to market to that person more effectively. Are you maintaining your values, your business values, your personal values? Are you maintaining your boundaries? Are you trying to meet your goals and your needs by making a living? That is acceptable. Okay? Try to take some of the ick out of it, because your goals, your needs, your boundaries, your values are not the same as everyone else's. The people who like you will be people who have a similar outlook, similar values. They will think you're amazing. They'll work with you. They'll tell other people they're working with you. And someone down the road who does something similar to you will think, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Because she's got that customer. They're not doing anything wrong. That customer resonated with you. They will find a customer who resonates with them, and that person will probably think you are not so great. That's fine. Focus on what you can control. Promote yourself in a way that makes you comfortable, because that's under your control. I saw an absolutely brilliant thing on Instagram the other day about imposter syndrome. I think it was Adam Grant who posted it. He usually posts pretty good stuff. And it said, imposter syndrome is, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, and people just haven't figured that out yet. Whereas a growth mindset is, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, I haven't figured it out yet. So you'll notice that the opposite is not, oh, I do know what I'm doing. No, nobody knows what they're doing. We're all winging it. But instead of, people are going to find out I don't know what I'm doing, how about, I'm going to figure out what I'm doing? There is no subterfuge. There's no sleight of hand here. There's no trickery. You genuinely have skills and talents. You're not trying to trick people. You're working out how best to use your skills and talents to meet the wants and needs of other people and make a living for yourself. That's legitimate. Part of that is telling people about what you do and how they can buy from you. And part of that is figuring out how best to do it. And part of that is getting it wrong. But it's not even wrong. It's just not right for that customer. Sure, if that customer is in your mind your ideal customer, okay, you need to do a bit of work on it. But it's just you're just figuring it out. We're all just figuring it out, and that's okay. And telling people about what you do because it could help them, it could meet their needs, it could provide them with a necessity, or it could give them something they want. That's so important. Because like I say, there's things I want, and I want people to tell me where I can find them. And there's things you want, and you want people to tell you where you can find them. People want what you have, and they need you to tell them where they can find you. So, whilst you are promoting yourself, treat yourself with excessive kindness, because that will help with the ick. And let's all make a living, which is legitimate and we're allowed, so that we can squeeze every last drop of enjoyment out of life. Speak to you next time. Thank you so much for listening. Did you know that my first book is now available to purchase online? Check out the show notes for details of how to get your hands on a copy. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could leave me a review, and don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are up. If you would like to work with me one-to-one or follow more of my content, you can find out how in the show notes. See you next time.